And welcome back to more X-Plane 11. Not doing air hauler today. Today, we're going to show something fun to help everybody out. We are circling over Apple Valley Airport right mañana, and I'm going to show you guys how to use the VOR. This is going to make your life so much easier. Hopefully. And I don't confuse people. So we're just circling around right now over top of the airport. Jump over to Sky Vector. We're going to go from Apple Valley up here to Vegas. Why did I pick these airports? Why not? Just seemed like we wanted to make sense. But we wanted to do the VORs all the way up to said airport. Now, the first one we're going to pick is Hector. If we click on the magic little magenta line, drag it on down here, comes up, there's Hector, Planet. From Apple Valley over here, we need to fly 058 for 38 miles. And if we jump back over to the airplane and we go inside of it, I've already have Hector selected. It's right there telling us how far away we are, and if I spin the OBS, it would line up and go the direction that we want it to. I actually have no clue if it'll do it on the pause screen. No, it won't. It's going to make a nice little liar out of us. But if we jump back over here, the next one I would want to take is the Goff's VOR. We're going to go ahead and select it and plan to go into there like that. And just for safety's sake, because this is a Class Bravo airport, big one, I do not want you. So we get rid of Victor 514. We don't need that, don't want that. There we go, got rid of it. So we're doing VOR to VOR. So from Apple Valley over here to Hector, and if you guys are wondering where you get the frequency for Hector, it's right here. It is 112.7. And we're going to fly on the 058 radial with a 2 heading. And then our next one after Hector will be Goffs. Like I said, if we take this out, the Hector from Apple Valley up here to Goffs is like 105 miles, I think, is what it is. And we won't pick that up. The reason we won't pick that up is because these VORs work on line of sight. And us being that far away, and we've got these mountains, and we're not very high. We're just circling above the airport. We cannot pick up this VOR. So we're not going to pick it up at all. So what we're going to do is put 058 in and see if it shows up. All right, we're back inside the airplane. Let's unpause this. Look, it's centered up. We need to roll to the right. We have a 2 reading. This is lining up, so by the time we get back over in this general vicinity, we should be pretty close. And man, the trim is really messed up on this here airplane. Right around in here. We give us our OBS a little bit of a click. See? There we be. We be for the most part lined up on where we want to go. And I have the next VOR is already programmed down here in the nav2, and it should be popping up here, but we are too far away. That's why we're not picking it up. So if we fly a little bit longer, we would pick it up. When we get up here a little bit closer. Alright, we're within 2.5 miles of the VOR. I'm going to go ahead and hit our heading bug just a little bit so we can keep this centered up. The closer that you get to the VOR, which we are about to pass over right now, this needle is going to get really, really crazy. So anything less than 2 miles, just hold the heading that you're on. Don't go chasing it, because then you're going to be zigzagging all over the sky. It's going to look like you've been drinking. ATC is going to get all kinds of worried. If you can see right here, we got 114.4, and that's for the Goff's VOR. On the 430, it's not going to tell us. We'll put it in here after bid. And we've got our direct track, which is pretty close. It's still centered up, but let's just say for, whatever reason, it's not in here. Let's say it's not coming up. Well, if we jump back over here to Sky Vector, to get to the VOR we want to go to the Hector VOR, we flew 058 to get there. And it's really, really close to 058 to pick this up. So what we would do is stay on the 058 heading that we were on to get to here, but we're going to fly on that radial, because the radial coming off of here is 058 going this direction. But what we're wanting to do is we want to see that go from to from, and then we just stay on the 058 with a from reading. And that will get us in the ballpark to pick this up, if we wasn't already picking it up. But since we are, we don't really have to worry about anything. You see how it swung out, got really, really, really crazy? Here in a minute, there we flip to the from, and this will slowly work its way back in. there we'd be, and we'd stay on this to stay on the 058 radio, since it has a from reading, and we'll track on away from here. If you guys are having problems and for some weird reason your OBS, the VORs, or anything isn't working, make sure you're not in GPS mode, because if you look and you're in GPS mode up here and you click and you roll this around, you can do whatever you want to your heart's little content. It's not going to change where that needle goes. The reason is because you didn't hit the $500 button. The reason this is called a $500 button is if you take a check ride in the real world and you botch it and mess up, that's a $500 bill you just paid, and you did nothing because you forgot to hit the $500 button. That's right there, or right there if you're in the trusty 172. But since we're already picking up the next VOR, we can go ahead and toss it up here. And if you're wondering how to do that, you just click this handy dandy button right there in the middle, and it'll pop you from the comm to the nav on the 530 or the 430. And we'll put 114.4. Hit the flip-flop button. We got another 2 to a from. It'll swing out, swing back into what we need to be, and what do you know, we're right around in that ballpark. But jumping over here, anything coming away from it, that's the radio you would have been on. Like we're flying the 058 radio out away from here. It has to say from for you to be on that radio. If we were heading this direction, we were on the 235 radio coming in. Now that we're flying to the Goff's VOR, we are flying of a heading of 058, but we are really on the 238 radio, as said right there, to Goff's. So if we were asked, we were on the 238 radio heading the Goff's, but we're heading at 058 to get to there. The way that we get that is it would have to be the from reading. So if we spun this all the way around so that 238 was up there and we had a from reading, that would tell us what radio we are flying to get to the VOR. But to get there, we are flying 058. Hopefully this helps you and I didn't just confuse the hell out of you, and which I did. I'm pretty sure I'm going to hear in the comments I'm going to be told you're terrible. God, please tell us you don't really fly airplanes for real. I do. I'm sorry. Anyway, like, subscribe, comment. If you want to see any other helpful videos, tell me what you want to learn. I'll see if I can help you out. If not, we can get confused along the way together.